Hey, welcome to another edition of Thunder and Lightning. Post Game 2 recap. Nikki, the Knicks are tied up 1-1 to the Pistons, but before we get into all that, welcome to Draft Week. I'm, of course, Thunder, and Nikki is Lightning. We are the New York Sports Show about everything and nothing at all. Unfortunately, we have a lot to talk about. Sorry, it's been a busy couple of weeks for myself, so thank you, Nikki, for coming on immediately after the Knicks game. It was funny. We were supposed to come on at around 8, like our normal 8 o'clock hour, and that was before we realized the Knicks schedule. So we said, fuck, we got the Knicks to watch. So, yes. So do you want to talk about the draft first, or do you want to talk about the Knicks to just rip it off like a Band-Aid?
Go ahead. Let's start with the Knicks first, actually.
Yeah, so the Knicks, once again, typical Knicks, playing with our food. Just
Ew, you played with your food?
Well, they were just like, all right, we're better than them, and clearly the Pistons were the hungrier team, and they took it to heart tonight. And unfortunately, they shut down OG and they shut down Cat to both 10 points for each. Even though we tried to get even though we were getting a lot of the foul calls in the second half, we cut it down, tied it up. Unfortunately, not enough for the Pistons to carry it over. Cade Cunningham really had his breakout playoff performance in his second career playoff game. Lit it up against us tonight. Schroeder with that big three at the end. So I mentioned in the video I posted in my Happy Easter video yesterday, basically, they remind me, hey, let's go Knicks. Hi, Mike. Please like and subscribe. Chris, I saw you earlier in the chat. I'm sorry. We were running late because of the Knicks game. They remind me of the Knicks from a couple of years back where they were like young, dumb, and scrappy. And like, all right, we may not win this series, but it's good learning experience for down the road. And tonight would be one of those games where like, oh, wow, okay, this is how you win a playoff game. So now the Knicks have to be careful on Thursday night, Game 3 in Detroit. God knows when the last time there was a playoff game in Detroit for them to play with fire. So the Knicks are going to have
with limited tickets, right?
Yeah. As long as you are not from the tri-state area, you are not able to.
You can go.
Well, on the first market, the secondary market, I think is okay. So of course they're going to jack up the prices.
Yeah, they don't want any of us there.
Yeah. So how much of a heartbreaker was that Bridges missed three wide open?
Oh,
that was
shattered my heart. Like it was really, it really did. And I'm like, they had good defense there for a little bit towards the end, and I'm like, they might pull this out. But I should have known better.
I mean, we've seen this song and dance plenty of times, and we've seen them win more times than not. So yes. I did my halftime. I did my going into the fourth quarter money line and spread over 2 tonight. But it worked on Saturday, so 1-1 for that, I guess. What else have you thought about the series so far, other than that 21-0 run on Saturday? Because I haven't really got to talk to you. That was pretty epic. But it's going to be scrappy and a lot more physical, and this could be a longer series than what a lot of people have expected. And we're going to have to buckle up.
I don't know why they would have expected a short series. Detroit's got a chip on their shoulder. They think they are, the bad boys 2.0 here. And, they really are trying to like live up to this. So they do. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder. And to come into the Mecca and you beat the Knicks in Game 2, that's, Detroit's going to be tough. Playing there is going to be hard. So I don't know why everybody thought this would be a short series. I figured the Knicks would hit a little snafu like they did tonight.
Yeah, I think it was more the factor of we are the more experienced team, obviously.
But experience that doesn't always translate on the court, on the field. You just don't know. You can have an off night. Like they brought it a little bit more. sometimes our defense is a little shaky. Like it could be so hit or miss, you know?
Oh.
So, and tonight it missed, and it just, yeah, it just didn't come together. And but the Knicks do this; they'll get within
Well,
the
yeah, this
last
time
two
tonight.
minutes, and it's either they're coming back and they pull it within 4 or 2 points and they win, or they just lose in heartbreaking fashion. There's really no in between. Like,
Right. I think
so
obviously I think they'll be all right. I think they'll find a way to win in 6. For
I do
some
too.
dumb
Yeah,
reason, I always my brain is still locked into the 90s sometimes, and always forget that the first round of the series is not 5 games anymore. So I think 6 is about right because I did say 5 when I did say 4 when my mind thought it was a best of 5.
yeah, you did.
Uh, so honestly, it's just all right. Let's get with them on Thursday. The Pistons did their job. They got home court advantage now for splitting the first 2 games. For whatever reason, in going back in Knicks history, I don't know the number off the top of my head, but it seems like we always lose game 2. It's just
Yeah,
for whatever reason we're coming at it guns blazing game 1, game 2. We get our we leave our foot off the we get our foot off the pedal, and it's just like, oh, here we go again. We got a series. We did that again with the Pistons. With the Pacers last year,
yeah. Oh God,
and
that
growing
series,
up is
the
it was always
definitely.
that way as well.
Yeah, Thursday we're all gonna be a little preoccupied.
Yeah, that's going to be a 2 TV situation or your phone or an iPad situation. But thankfully
Get the
for the
setup,
Giants, their
you know.
third pick. So
Well,
last
that's
year
a
we were
great
lucky.
segue.
Yeah, that was a very good segue. But before I get into that, that was the same thing that happened last year, and the Knicks got blown out by the Sixers. So thankfully, we didn't really have to watch much of the Knicks game last year. So the segue, yeah, it is draft season. Hopefully, the Knicks show up and wake up and ready to go on Thursday, while we are all occupied for draft night. So we're not really going to go through a mock draft. It's basically who we want at number 3 because let's face it, it's late at night. We could talk about the draft all night long. I know that's not your favorite thing. I haven't really studied much over the last couple of days. I have draft fatigue as well. So we know what the Giants need and want. We need offensive line. We need defensive line. We need a quarterback. If they were to get a best player available at any position possible, because we won 3 games, that will be clutch as well. So we're gonna say who we want. We actually everybody knows who I think we both want, but we're stamping it down on who we
Stamp
actually
of
want.
official T&L stamp. Is that what's going on?
Stamp. There's definitely official stamp. I think
Should I get my
how
notary stamp and just
yes, and I think the fashion on how this show is gonna be dictating on who we're both drafting. So Roger Goodell is saying the New York Football Giants are on the clock at pick number 3. Uh, Nick is on the phone with what player and what are you telling that player to welcome them to New York and New Jersey? With the 3rd pick of the NFL draft, Nick for the New York Giants select.
I am telling Shador to bring that swag to New York because we need it. I got to see, Shador and Malik together. I just need that combo, inject it into my veins. And I'm handling the QB of the future situation that you're going to need to handle in a year anyway. And you could sit here and make this argument that there's no generational talent. You could argue that in any draft because you just don't really know how any of these guys are going to pan out,
Mm-hmm.
and that's everybody's argument to me. And Shador is, overrated. He's not generational talent. He's not going to make a difference. Dable and Shane are going to get fired if they take him. Like, listen, I just maintain this is like, I think after all the smoke and mirrors are done and we saw what Tennessee rejected the number one, didn't they try to trade with them today or something? And Tennessee rejected it. And
I didn't
so
see any of that. I've been so busy, but I'm sure the offer that we gave him wasn't substantial
it
enough for that.
wasn't, they want the world for this number one. So that tells me, you're trying to get Cam Ward. It tells me, you do need that Russell Wilson is a Band-Aid. So I do think after all the hoopla dies down, they probably will go Shador. And I know it came out today, what Dable loves Jackson Dart. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, as we all know, it's smoke screen season. So Shador Sanders. So what's your immediate expectation if you were to bring Shador into New York? Would you be like, all right, you're going to be battling with Jameis for number two, and then if he beats out Jameis, find a trade partner for Jameis, or just have him be number three and beat out DeVito, which he should?
I feel like you could go either way. Honestly, I really do. I mean, you should beat out DeVito, but I guess see where the kid's at after you evaluate him a little bit more and you get him there. Like he could compete with Jameis, use Jameis as some trade bait. But yeah, I mean, again, we kind of talked about this months ago when we thought Aaron Rodgers was coming, and it was like, well, if you get his Shador here, it's a lot. You're not going to tell Aaron Rodgers after 6-7 weeks you're done, right? Because we see how well this is going for him now. So not that Russell Wilson would be any easier, but I mean, he's only here for a year. So, we'll see. Maybe. I just don't know. If Russell Wilson can't get it together after 5 or 6 weeks, I mean, what do? You throwing Jameson or you throwing Shador in? I mean,
Well, in that regard, we how we fucked up last year, what we were supposed to do. Hopefully we don't fuck that up again. But I would obviously hope, because you're drafting him at number three, you are having him ready by that time, and it's like, okay, sink or swim. We
we need you.
use the top five draft capital, top three draft capital, so
Right.
it's got to be now or never because they invested a lot in him. So I don't hate the pick. I've been clamoring for Shador all this time, but at the end of the day, I'm not liking what the Giants did this offseason. There was, all right, if we either got one Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston, okay, I can see us sneaking up and getting Shador, or find a way to trade back. That's still an option as well if he falls completely off the face of the earth. I'm taking the bona fide stud in either Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter, and I'm gonna go with Abdul Carter because what did Chris say before I go on the show? I wouldn't put a timeline on starting Shador. That's obviously fair, Chris, but he's the top three overall pick, and you know how that goes. But I that would be the right move. But I'm going with Abdul Carter at number three. You can't pass up this type of talent. I know we have a bunch of pass rushers, but the old adage of Ernie Accorsi, you can never have enough pass rushers. That will be our identity. We've been bitching about it. We don't have an identity. We don't have an identity. We don't have an identity. That pass rush is going to help us win some games next year. And that's ultimately what Dable and Shane need. And that could change the culture of the whole entire franchise. I know Shador has the moxie, he has the pedigree. We'll get into it later. I don't understand why his jersey's getting retired, but I think I think right now we are so desperate for talent around the whole entire team, get the best player available. And then if something funky happens and they want to trade back in, or we got the second pick in the second round, get a quarterback. But honestly, shore up the lines. Everything the Giants did this offseason has dictated that they do not like the quarterbacks, and they've done their homework. So something is funky. If I'm wrong, I'm fine with Shador being at number three. But I think Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter being there, you got to run and do it. So, but I would prefer Abdul Carter. Michael Scarlett, Carter, Burns, Lawrence, and Kayvon is a good line. I agree. Carter should be the pick, build that D line, and draft a day two quarterback, maybe Milrow. Milrow.
I've been seeing a lot of Milrow talk and Dart talk, and I don't know. All the talk. I'm tired. I'm ready for all the talk to just be done. I'm ready for like you and I to stop talking about
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
because I'm just kind of done with it. I think no matter what they do, like it they're just in a shitty situation because of the culture win. Look at
Hmm.
all the dominoes that have
Yeah,
fallen. And so that's great if you get Carter, like awesome. But
yeah.
at the end of the day, if this team went and got Jameis, you got Russell Wilson, you're putting these pieces together as if you are like, you know, a win now team. Like, if you win 6 games, guess what? Russell Wilson's not here next year. And now you need a quarterback. So I get what you're all saying, but like, it doesn't change the fact that you need a quarterback after this season. Like,
Oh,
I get it. I get everybody who's like, you got to get the talent. You got to get the talent. I understand that. But what about the quarterback situation?
I mean,
I'm like, I'm having a hard time on the whole like pass on it. Cause what is it? So it means that you guys think that like Russell Wilson's going to go out there and win 12 games and we're going to make a run to the play. We won 3 games, barely.
I'm not working for the Giants. I'm just
None of
seeing
us
what
are. None of us
I'm
are.
just
I
seeing
just
what
can't.
they did this offseason, and it's like, okay, they're definitely covering their asses as if they're about to get fired and taking a quarterback at 3 when they don't love the guy. I could be wrong. Obviously, we don't know nothing. But as everything, all the smoke screens are pointing towards they do like him. We've spent all the time working with him and everything else like that. But would if they did all that work, why do the extra step with the protection of the quarterback situation? Just something isn't adding up with me with the mathing with that. But I get what you're saying. Yes, a quarterback is generational. It could be a generational change the everything of the franchise. I do get that. It just for whatever reason, I'm just seeing the Giants and how obvious they are. They are terrible at poker, and them getting Shador on Thursday night would be more shocking than them passing up. That would be more shocking than them drafting Abdul Carter.
Listen,
Chris
if
has
they don't like the guy, if the quarter, I I want everyone to be very clear here. I don't want them to get a quarterback just to get a quarterback. Okay,
right,
like if that is their guy and they like him, whoever it is, go get him. But you can't ignore it because you only bought yourself a year, and I
right,
feel like if you have a shit year with Russell Wilson, what makes you think Dable and Shane are staying again? Like,
right. So Chris has having Dexter and 3 speed rushers that have issues stopping the run makes sense. How? All right. I get where Chris is saying with the run defense, but I think rotationally speaking, they're going to be able to split up the plays, and they're going to be able to figure out who has the hot hand on a given week or who has a better matchup that given week, and then bring all 3 of them in during passing situations, and maybe Kayvon actually becomes more of that player that we all hope for in year 4, and we know he's coming back for year 5 because let's face it, the year 5, the rookie extension for the 5th year is very cheap compared to how
what do you
defensive.
need to see out of Kayvon this year? What are you hoping to see out of him?
I'm stat wise, I'm hoping what we got last 2 seasons ago, but more against talent, more talent other than the Washington Commanders when their offensive line was all time bad. Or the Jets. He's that bully guy who's bullies against lesser talent. I would love to see him maybe now that he will be rotating with Burns and Carter. Maybe he'll be fresher and be ready more of a feast beast like Anosi was towards the end of his career. That would be good. I like how we also could put Abdul Carter up in the middle in the box. It was a middle linebacker in those passing situations. That's really fun to see. We can mix and match with everything. So I think I get where Chris is saying with the run is might take a little bit of a hit, but I think as we all know, the NFL is more of a passing game. I will take my chances on being ready on that third down with 4 guys ready to kill the quarterback and let's hunt type of thing. So
I
that's
mean,
why
we hope every time we get one of these guys, they don't work out. They don't live up to their hype. They don't, and it's partly coaching. You know, they don't come as advertised. Like they're not coached up to their potential.
right.
Like I wouldn't
Well,
say
and
Kayvon Thibodeau has like. I don't think he talks a lot of shit for someone who can't back it up because you're right. The minute he plays against a good team, like he has a milk carton game, and it's like, where the fuck did you go? But you know, you want to play against the Commanders and you want to show up. It's like, come on. I mean, you know, like you want to play with the big boys, like then do something. You know what I mean? You want to talk all this shit, you better show the fuck up and back it up. And he can't. And that's what I don't like about him. He's awfully cocky for someone who goes missing on the field more than he shows up.
Right. And what Chris says, remember we play Saquon twice a year. Obviously I know that, and
My
you
new
know that
team.
a new team.
My new team.
Honestly, there's such, as you know, Chris, because we talk a lot. There's so much depth in the mid to late rounds with defensive linemen that will be able to stuff the run, and they're big dudes that are obviously in recent, probably in other years, day 2 talent that fall to day 3, and you could end up having a steal with one of those guys. So I'm banking on the Giants with getting Abdul Carter. I'm banking on them getting a stud defensive tackle either round 2 or round 3 if we do not end up getting a quarterback. I think either of those 2 rounds, I definitely see us getting a D tackle and shoring that up a little bit more and getting Dex.
And you guys say the same thing every year, that has to get shored up every single year. And it never does. It never does.
That's the problem with the shitty team. There's so many holes that they just, for whatever reason, neglect it. I don't know. Last year they were the only team that didn't draft the offensive lineman. That's all you needed to know about that situation. So,
no, I'm just saying, you know, you guys, it's the same thing every year. It's like, oh yeah, let's shore it up with it. Then they go out there.
Different though. This draft class for defensive line is arguably the best position in the whole entire draft.
It doesn't matter. We got the best wide receiver in the class last year. And because it's a shitty team and they're shitty coaching, this kid is probably going to waste most of his career in New York. So
it's like, all right. Obviously, I'm not going to win an argument by you saying it like that. Obviously,
that's all I'm saying is everyone who's on your side of it is like, yeah, I know it needs to be shored up. Like, wake me up when September ends. Like, it's been needing to be shored up for years now. Like, and they just can't seem to do it. Like, so is this the year that it clicks?
This would be the year. Should be the year with all the talent that's there.
But people say this every year. It's always like, oh my God, that's so much this talent and that talent and this talent and that talent. And they get here and I don't know what happens. Like they all lose their mojo. Someone sucks the life out of them. Like, you know, what do you think it is? They get here and what?
Honestly, they get here and then for whatever reason they just either forget how to play, and then the coaching either it's the combination of them thinking since they already made the NFL and then it's the coaching for whatever reason not gelling with the player, and then the player getting down on them for not getting enough playing time, and then the fan base going crazy. Everybody's popping in right now. 2 giant goofballs. What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Darius, getting Carter makes our D line stronger. Getting Hunter gives us a 2-way player we have not seen in years. getting Sanders or Milrow gives us an Eagles Ravens
Yes,
style.
thank you. Why can't we have the Eagles Ravens style of offense? Why do you guys not want this? I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Hold on. Shador Sanders isn't a Eagles offense at all, or a Lamar Jackson offense at all. That's not
More
the case.
so than
Not at
Russell
all.
Wilson.
Not at all.
More so than Russell. What do you think Russell Wilson's going to do?
Shador Sanders is not going to be a Ravens Eagles offense. He does not run unless he absolutely has to. Where Jalen Milrow will be that Ravens Eagles situation. So
great, then get Milrow. The point is to get the quarterback. Like
right.
That's the point. Is get
But
the quarterback.
Milrow's more of a project, so that would be more of a situation that would fit more with the Giants. Yeah, Milrow's a great RB too. We're gonna have him in packages like Cordell Stewart in the 90s. That's a rough one.
Flash.
Sanders is Chad Pennington. Yeah. Unfortunately, Authentic, Chris's good friend and good content creator, made a good video about Shador today about basically being able to find the open guys.
Wait, Authentic? Who's
Yeah.
friends with him?
Chris is very good friends with him. So.
Oh, okay. I'll keep it to
Why
myself.
do you guys knock Milrow so much?
I'm not knocking Milrow.
No. I'm reading what Darius says.
I know.
He's going to be the biggest draft steal. Darius, I have to see more out of Milrow passing wise. Obviously athletic, and we've seen it with the breakaway speed and all the touchdowns and everything else like that in his college career. There's still a lot to be left desired in the NFL game, and we've seen the accuracy be an issue for him. So, I really, if we were to get Milrow, he's 100%. We are not cutting Jameis or benching Russell Wilson anytime soon unless he has the training camp of a lifetime.
Maybe, and I like Chris. I do. I enjoy Chris popping in our chat. Maybe Chris could tell me why Authentic has got to just argue every single little tiny point with every single fan. I don't understand that. And I think I argue a lot, but Authentic takes it to like whole new level, you know? Have you ever argued with him?
No, I never interacted with him.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, the chat is arguing with each other.
Right. Literally, his wide receivers are giving him nasty looks at their Pro Bowl. Yeah, no, he had a very rough season last year with the whole new regime after Saban left. Yeah, we had that epic Rose Bowl game against Michigan. He obviously had a great running game. He had a couple missed moments with the passing. Listen, he's not talking about you, Darius. She's talking about Chris.
No. He said yes, Darius. Yes, Authentic. He says he knows him. It's just a me thing, but he does know his stuff. But he and I just constantly argue because you know what the different. Like I just don't think he wants to hear any other certain opinions. But his production on all his stuff is
it's A+ stuff.
It's really good. I did compliment him on it. And then he just like started arguing with me and like I just like nitpick, like I just can't, I don't have the energy for it, you know, like argue with the fucking wall, not me. Like Chris says he goes back and forth with Authentic, but it's always respectful. We have shared quite a few beers over the years and at various tailgates. Well, that's cool. Nikki and Authentic on a podcast together. Oh my God, that'd be elite. Oh my God, I think we'd kill each other. I would lose my shit in like 2 minutes because I'm not going to argue with somebody just because of the way I said something. And then you take that and twist it to like mean whatever the hell you want it to mean. I don't do that. No.
All right. So
point is I would like a quarterback. And I just, I don't know what they're going to do at the end of this year.
No, and that's the biggest question mark. And I the way I see the Giants doing this offseason, it's everything you need to know. And I think they've given Shador ample amount of opportunities and homework, and they've been to at basically almost every single game. They've flown to him and everything else like that. Should we be cautious about Abdul Carter's stress reaction in his right foot and shoulder issue? Listen, with the shoulder, he was still a beast in the game against Notre Dame. He takes care of business. It's more of the foot issue, and obviously, if we're taking him at number 3, the Giants do not have an issue with it.
Well, it looks like everybody would like to see me and Authentic go at it. So maybe one day we'll just get them on and we'll just argue with each other. Sounds fun, right?
Right. That sounds fun. Basically, every week with us. Somehow
we haven't argued yet. I mean,
there's no reason to argue. We've argued for the last 3 months about everything. So we're basically just putting it all out on the line today. Of course, everybody's watching tonight, so we're not arguing. Go figure. I'm more concerned with Charles' injury history.
Oh, first of all, he is giving Daniel Jones 2.0. If they get this, did you see the video?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. It's more of him being 26 and he went to prom with Brock Purdy.
That doesn't matter to me. He is giving Daniel Jones 2.0, and that's all that matters to me. Like, it's horrible. It's so bad. I'm not doing this, you know?
Yeah, that one thing seems to be a little crazy with the attitude problem, but honestly, we have had enough nice guys for the New York Giants. It seems like nothing has come about it, so let's see what happens with that.
Who has an attitude problem?
Apparently, Abdul Carter had an issue with a truck driver. I didn't really read into it, but I've seen it around. So
I wish he was the same age as Dave Gettleman.
Yeah, no, he
looks like Daniel Jones out there. Like, no, thank you. I'm all set. You know, pass on that. What does it mean that Abdul Carter has an attitude? Like, he's just like feisty, or like?
I think that attitude problem was that one-time situation. Other than that one situation with the law and that whole everything else with that, I got to read more into it, but I think everything else, everybody's seems to be okay with that one incident. And
okay, so I have to look at it, because
apparently he had
illegally. The car went to tow the car. Carter literally physically yanked him out of the car. Oh, the tow truck guy?
Yeah, that means he probably didn't pay his payment, and then he was pissed about it, and whoops. Not great. But obviously
but you can't, we all lose our shit sometimes. You just can't hold that against people forever and ever and ever.
Right. And apparently I guess they took care of it. So not make it happen. Don't make it a habit, and be a good citizen after learning your lesson.
We can look past one time, but you can't just be yanking people out of cars either. But if you were in the heat of the moment, you know, like.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's right there.
What, losing your? I've assaulted people and I've lost my shit. Okay,
well,
so
shocking.
What do you want from me? I mean, I don't go around hitting people, but there are times where you just like, you know, I don't know, you lose it. There are other rumors about him as well, but people are keeping it quiet.
All right, well, that's where the Giants have to be smart.
Yeah.
And obviously,
like, make sure they're not letting a cancer in the locker room. Is it a bigger attitude problem than OBJ? Like,
or Kadarius Toney, who's completely out of the league. So no one could be worse than Kadarius Toney. Literally no one.
Kadarius Toney was so bad.
But honestly, as we all know, this is where the Giants need to do their homework, and we have swung and missed. He has swung and missed. They have swung and missed plenty of times. Micah Parsons 2.0 in more ways than one. Honestly, Micah Parsons has been okay since that incident, rumor, whatever, that scared the Giants away from taking him. He seems to be, other than being a guy that's always about talking about podcasts, he even made that tweet when he saw, I forgot who it was, some former player is making so much money. So it's just like,
Well, that's where the Giants have to do their due diligence too. Like they need to really vet, you know, these guys. Like and make sure, be careful of who you are letting in the locker room, you know? Um it's just like any other interview, really. Darius says the interest in McCord is higher than expected. What do you think?
Say that again. Sorry, I was looking at something else. The interest in McCord is higher than I expected. Y'all see us getting him. I mean, with Kyle McCord, he had that 1 year with Ohio State. We saw the ending on the Michigan game. A lot of people soured off that and basically ran him out of
Yeah.
town. And then Syracuse, he had a very good year, basically rebuilt his image. Honestly, he's definitely a day 3 guy unless something crazy happens. And then he's clearly a project for the NFL. Again, no one to be like, oh my God, we got Kyle McCord. That's like, let's see what happens with everything else like that. Bill Carter does get stuffed by a lot of decent talent, and I don't mean just tackles. Some tight ends have stopped him as well. Ohio State, for instance. Yeah, I agree. I see what you're saying, Chris, but just watching his just watching how his talent could be, I am willing to work with him and grow with that situation more times than that because I think at some point he's going to be able to take over the game and wreak some havoc in games and steal some wins.
I don't know. Okay. Giant goofball say all these quarterbacks suck, to be honest, and none seem elite. I like Dylan Gabriel because I think he will be had later and can start in a pinch with floor as a decent backup.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
okay. How do you guys know all these quarterbacks suck, though?
It's not that they suck. We just watch them play in college, and it's just like when you're watching them, okay, they might be a guy that could surprise people with the right offense when they get drafted. But there's so much, there isn't that, oh my God, wow, we got to get this guy in the
And
later.
you guys, there are people like you who literally say that every single year about a quarterback class. Every single year, people sit there and say, "Oh, this quarterback class sucks. Wait till next year."
All right.
Like,
I think this is also, they're talking about this quarterback class like a Kenny Pickett draft class and a Jameis and Marcus Mariota level of quarterback class.
but
So
they talk about it like this almost every single year. So you guys are like the what is it? The boy that cried wolf, right? Like somebody's complaining about the quarterback talent every single year. They got a problem with it, and it's like, well, okay, every year can't be a bad year. Like, how do we know what year you really think it's a bad year if you're complaining about it every single fucking year? Like, you know,
right. And I'm with two giant goofball on that one.
with what?
With you saying like we cry wolf every year. I think in
Yeah.
particular draft like last year was like the exact opposite. It was like, okay, wow, why didn't we get a quarterback? But obviously they didn't like any of them that fell in our range, and you can't really be
Oh,
mad at
JJ was right there. They didn't
that.
get
Right,
JJ.
right, right.
So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, there is this argument. I'm not saying it's you.
No, I know, I
I'm
know.
saying the argument every year from the fucking peanut gallery is always like, this is a bad quarterback play. Every year, people do it. Every single year. Like,
I
and
disagree.
huh?
I disagree with that.
Okay. How can you disagree with that when every single year there is a part of this fan base, some of the same fucking people who complain over and over and over again that, oh my God, this is a bad class for quarterbacks. Wait till next year. Oh, you know what? I watched so and so at this school. Turns out he sucks too. Oh, this quarterback class is bad too. Like, it's
Everybody, a bunch of these people want Malik Willis, and obviously it took him how long until he played a game in Green Bay to show up? Like, there's unfortunately years that are very low in quality for starting.
I'm not saying there's not. I don't need you guys to explain to me the
Oh, here we go.
quality of player because you
We're
all like to
not.
sit here and mansplain.
No,
You are.
that's
You don't need to break
no.
it down like
There we
that
go.
for me.
You're
Like I
now.
get
See, it
it.
was
The
nice
point is
conversation.
there is
Now,
a
okay.
whole entire
Okay.
section of this fan base
Here we go.
that likes to complain about the quarterbacks every single draft. That is what I'm saying to you. I even said, I'm not talking about you. I'm
I
saying
know.
there
I
are
know.
people
That's
of
when
this
I
fan
know.
base
That's when I
who
know
do
you
it
got
every
mad.
single fucking year. They do it every year. Like, but
Yep.
I don't need you guys to sit here and be like, well, Nikki, see, sometimes the quality of play, I know that. I'm saying the people who say it every year,
Well,
like,
then you obviously know why you're not listening to them.
I don't listen to them. I'm saying that like there's a part of this fan base where nothing is good enough. They shit on any talent that's in there. It doesn't matter what the Giants do on Thursday. Like they're gonna fucking complain and bitch and moan about it. And then they're gonna say, if they get Shador, they're gonna say, oh my God, he's not a generational talent. Look, at the end of the day, you guys could be wrong about Abdul Carter. We could be right about Shador Sanders, or we could be wrong about Shador, and you guys could be right about Abdul Carter. I'm sorry, my crystal ball is broken. Like I just don't understand. Like all these people, like they just argue and argue and argue, and you just don't know what some of these guys are gonna like turn out to be. None of us have any idea.
Yeah, no, you're right. I
But
don't want to
people are getting
mansplain
into
to
like
you on that.
knockdown, drag out fights, being like super disrespectful to each other and
Well,
going
they don't know how
very,
to
very
touch grass,
low.
plain and simple, and they don't have lives, but that's fine.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's just not necessary. Darius just wants a quarterback that we can be excited by and cheer for, also a dual threat. Yeah, I'm with you. Like, does Russell Wilson excite you?
No.
Honestly, I gotta tell you, until he pops up on my feet, I forget that he's here.
Yeah, if he's not at a Knicks game, I forget.
Like, does he excite you?
No, he is what he is. He's 36 years old. He's the ultimate bridge quarterback. Um, he's gonna be professional. It's impressive how he knows everybody's name. I'm being sarcastic. It was watching today's press conference was exactly like his introductory press conference. Granted, that's more so on the beat reporters for asking the same questions, but in a different style, and they answered it the same way. But
Can I just tell you the Eagles beat is a
yeah.
bazillion times better than the Giants
Well,
beat?
that's what happens when you're winning games and whatever. The Eagles are the Eagles.
Yeah,
Go,
but
go make out with them. We get it.
okay, well, why are you brushing it off? First of all, they're a heated rival. They're in our division that we will never get past, you
We
know?
will. Eventually we will. It's ebbs and flows and we'll get there. So,
Eventually, the game is going to pass the Giants franchise by
well,
if they don't
that's
like, get with the times and change the game. It's not 19 fucking 42, but they seem to like play football like it is. Like the Eagles beat asks really
it's also
good
Philadelphia.
questions.
They don't sugarcoat things, and then with the Eagles, it's just
They have their shit together. It was quite apparent in the Howie Roseman press conference.
Darius. I
So
never said they weren't.
I'm just telling people because I've sat on the
Going to.
Bulls. Like I'm just giving everybody what I have like discovered here. I've discovered that like the Eagles really do have their shit together because people want to know what is the difference between both franchises. Okay. Well, it's very clear that the Eagles have a plan. It's very clear that the Giants don't. And that comes across when they are speaking to the media. Yes, there were dumb questions that were asked, not a lot in Philly, but the way that Howie Roseman articulates the plan, you know how you always come on here every week and you say you got to read between the tea leaves and stuff? You don't have to do that in Philly. They're very, very clear about the direction that they're going in. And then you get to the Giants and it's like, okay, what did Brian Dable say today? What did he say in his press conference today? Well, we have excellent communication together. It's just the same shit over and over again. They don't articulate anything.
It's just difference in styles. They're winning right now. Everything they do turns to gold, and let's see what happens if something went the negative way. As we've seen them, Sirianni until this year was looking to get fired. So Howie Roseman is the best
Howie
GM out
Roseman
there.
deserves a lot of credit
He does.
for
It does. It
building
really
that
does.
team. And to Darius's point, yes, they found their quarterback and everyone was shitting all over Jalen Hurts. And you guys want to know what the difference is between the two teams is the leadership at the top. It is so apparent that the dysfunction runs rampant in New York. And it's not like that in Philly. Like, and believe me, I don't want to come on here and say that, but it is a reality. We have to play them twice a year. They just won the Super Bowl. They are an hour and a half away from us. They are one of our most hated, heated rivals. And so that just so happened to cover both of them. Like, and I'm telling you, kind of feel like a double agent, but it is really apparent why they are successful and why New York is not, and why players want to go there. Who is clamoring to come here other than Russell Wilson? Like,
Yeah. Well, winning solves it all. We'll be fine.
no, I mean the Eagles had their down years.
Not recently.
I'm saying they've had down years and they were able to turn it around. The difference is the Giants stay down. They don't ever turn it around except for one outlier. The difference is in Philly, they've turned it around and now it's consistent, right? It's like, say you lost a bunch of weight, you lost like 100 pounds and you've kept it off and you've maintained it. You haven't gained it back. Like that's what they're doing. They're maintaining this winning culture. And, everybody hates it, but it's the truth. Like we can't sugarcoat that either. I just think the Giants have a really long way to go.
Yeah, Washington did make it the NFC Championship game in year one with their rookie quarterback. Chris, we know that. But comparing Shedeur Sanders to Jalen Daniels is completely different.
Darius says, Nikki, you are speaking the truth. There's nothing wrong with that. Well, tell that to Danny, who's sitting here.
No, it's like, oh, no, duh. I could go to the Eagles website and listen to Howie Roseman talk. You don't need to tell me that, oh, my God, they are run well.
I'm not telling you. I am telling the people that are listening. I am telling the people that have asked me questions what the difference is. I am not sitting here telling you. You already know. I already talked to you about it. I'm not telling you anything.
But you didn't need to tell me. Obviously, I could go on the website and listen.
Great, then do it. What do you mean I'm sitting here telling you? We have a chat full of people. I have people that have asked me questions about the Eagles that I'm trying to address and answer on the podcast so I can clip it up and put it out there and I can address everybody's questions all at one time.
You would have pulled off a Ricky Williams draft day deal for Jaden Daniels. That's interesting. That's basically 5 first-round draft picks just for Jaden Daniels. So that's a lot. Also May too, but really Daniels. Yeah. Last year's draft class was a special one, and of course we missed out on it. So typical. Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap things up?
No, because I don't think there's anything that you want to say other than come on here and be like Abdul Carter, and that's it. Like,
yeah, well, we know the Eagles are a plus franchise. So
yeah, but I'm telling you where the differences are. There are people who want to know specifically where do you see the differences in the teams? Like,
then they're clearly blind for not watching football. Then
not every Giants fan pays a lot of attention to the Eagles.
Well, you don't have to be a Giant fan to pay attention to the Eagles. They're on every single highlight.
Everyone who's asking me questions are Giants fans and are interested in what the difference is. Like, what is it? And it's quite clear. Like, I don't understand why we can't bring it up.
No, you can bring it up. It's just we know.
You might know. There are plenty of people who are Giants fans who don't make it a habit to stay involved with the happenings of Philadelphia. And I think it's just an interesting point that when you watch and listen to these two press conferences, the world of difference that it is.
You're right. How many times do I have to say that?
So, I don't know, because you're acting like it is like, well, why do you even come on here? Why are you talking about Shedeur Sanders? And you don't understand the quality of quarterbacks. And, you're telling us we already know the Eagles are a better organization.
I never once told you about anything like that at all. So
you didn't
stop explaining everything because I never said
you didn't say anything about the quarterback talent and the quality of talent, and you didn't tell me
compared to previous years, this year's a little different.
Yeah, but you still said to me that okay, the quality of quarterback play is different in like
when they were talking about Kyle McCord. Have you watched one game of Kyle McCord this
they
year?
were talking about it as a whole. We were talking about it as a whole conversation
Okay.
where I said every year there are people who are complaining about the quarterback talent, saying like they all suck.
Okay.
And you wanted to sit here and mansplain and tell me that there's different
I
qualities of play.
You're
You
getting
did. It was like 20 minutes ago. Like, and then I bring up
defensive.
something I want to talk about, and you just sit there and you're like, well, we already know the Eagles are a better team. Like,
yeah.
Okay, like I don't understand what the problem is
There's
here.
nothing. There's no problem. Zero.
There seems to be a problem.
No, absolutely none. You're making a problem out of nothing. Typical.
I'm not making it a problem. I don't think you realize the things that you say.
No, you're making a bigger deal out of it.
I'm not.
You are, definitely. What do you have for dinner
tonight? I'm not making a bigger deal out of it.
What do you have for dinner tonight? Chicken,
I'm absolutely
salad,
not making a bigger deal out of it.
Definitely. It's okay.
Okay, then why even have the conversation? Like, you know what? I say to you every week, no one's making, I didn't bring it up. The chat wants to know because it's what we do. And you were miserable about WrestleMania and you said that it was horrible and you got sick on Friday. And so why don't you then, I'll give you the floor. Why don't you talk since you seem to not want to hear me talk tonight?
I let you talk plenty tonight and then you go and complain that I mansplain when that wasn't the case, but whatever.
I mean, you did, but go ahead.
I definitely didn't.
Oh my fucking God. You definitely
WrestleMania sucked. Everybody knows the storyline was blah, whatever. WrestleMania sucked. Hope Easter was good for you. Whatever. I have nothing really else to talk about. Draft talk was fun.
Why did WrestleMania suck? Like what
going through 2 nights of cards.
I didn't say that, but like was the girl you like didn't wrestle? Like what
No, the storyline for John Cena to win his most titles at 17 could have been written out better and it didn't, and it fell flat and a lot of people were pissed about it. So basically a whole year of them writing up to this point was basically ruined because they decided to have Travis Scott come in and interfere with the match where
the rapper?
Yeah, the rapper. And
is a wrestler? He wrestles?
No, he what happened was he came in with The Rock a couple months ago and it was like, all right, everybody was expecting The Rock and then just Travis Scott came out and it was like, oh, okay, cool.
That's weird. They would have Yes, Tuji, it is always like this. We argue a lot because Danny doesn't realize the things that come out of his mouth.
Yeah. Oh, like you don't, please.
I know exactly what I say.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I know exactly.
You think we're Real Housewives of New Jersey, and then you make a bigger deal out
Although I should be cast on the show, I don't think we're Real Housewives of New Jersey. All I tried to do was just simply make a point and talk about something that I did.
Yeah, the sun is yellow, the ocean's blue. Yes, we know the Eagles are better than the Giants. We knew that. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, but again, you're missing the point that there are people who are not in this chat right now who have asked me questions. So I am trying to address it all so that when I clip it up, I can answer everybody's fucking questions instead of sitting there and sending 1,800 DMs being like, well, this, and Harry said that, and this is that, and this is that, and Brian Dable's cranky. And then I'm trying to get it all in at one time. Like,
okay.
But apparently you don't want to hear it and you don't want to have an opinion on anything. And you want to come at me every week and say, oh, you don't want to do draft off season with me because I bring the show down and I'm Debbie Downer and I'm miserable about it. Like,
all right.
I haven't been the miserable one this off season. I will just put it out there.
You want a cookie?
I've been slightly miserable, but I haven't been the most miserable one.
Congrats.
This is what I mean. Like, I don't understand. Like, you don't have to do the show. I tell you this every week. Like, you don't have to do it.
Okay.
I mean, you don't. Like, 2Gs. Is this the last episode, or is this like the family that makes up the next day? No, we're
Depending if
fine. We just do this all the time because he just doesn't understand like
it's my
why
fault.
I get mad.
It's always
Like,
my fault.
no, I didn't say that. I take
Yeah.
responsibility for the things that come out of my mouth, and I'm
Yeah.
sure I offend people all the time. What?
I said, oh yeah, okay, cool, definitely.
It's not my fault that you don't give a reaction, and it's just okay, cool, definitely, awesome. Like,
yeah, nah, I'll pass on that.
Okay, well, Danny does it because he loves the show enough to keep it going. I don't think he loves this show anymore, so I think that's quite apparent tonight.
No, the Knicks lost. A lot's been going on. It's 11:23. I've had enough for today, but
great.
I had a
So
great time. No, I'll wrap up the show. Honestly, thank you for everyone watching the show. It's the most people that watched our show for a very long time. So more than 20 people for once. So please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm going to put this on That Sports Network. Please like and subscribe to them as well. As always, find us on Thunder and Lightning NY Sports on YouTube and TNL_NYS on Instagram. Enjoy the draft. Unfortunately, we're redoing my house. So I will be at my parents' for the next couple weeks. So we aren't going to be doing a live draft show, but we will be doing our live reactions, and then I will have to figure out where I'm going to be recording the next couple weeks. So as always, thank you for watching us. Please like and rate, review. Nikki, is there anything you want to say?
Nope, I'm good. I will see you guys on Thursday.
All right, guys. Until next time, have a good one.
If there's a next time.